The first Wednesday of every month is what we like to call a KGW Good Energy Day. It's when we take time to highlight how our community is getting really innovative to protect the environment.
And this morning we're taking you up to a lab in Richland, Washington. So Chris, it's making progress in the race towards storing renewable energy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Brenda. It is a race because over the next few decades, we are going to be making much more of our electricity from renewable sources like wind and solar. And right now, we can't effectively store that power on a large scale for when we need it. The Pacific Northwest National Laboratory in the Tri-Cities has many prototypes, but their latest creation might be the closest yet to meeting our future power storage needs. And that is today's Good Energy.
So the current system that we have is really a just-in-time process.
Right now, electricity is largely a use it or lose it proposition.
We generate it based upon what our usage is. And so all those systems have to, be able to be tuned to whatever the grid needs at that moment.
And as the world races away from fossil fuels in favor of renewable energy production, the technology to get that power into the grid has to evolve just as quickly. And as abundant as the wind and sun are, the wind doesn't always blow nor the sun shine when we need it. So we have to be able to store it, which poses yet another challenge.
Right now, to store energy, we are using lithium. That's 97% of what's going out on the grid today.
Vince Sprinkle from the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory in Richland explains that lithium is the primary component for today's batteries. Lithium is also a liability. Socially, environmentally, and economically. Australia, China, and Chile control 90% of the global production.
There are obvious resource constraints with lithium.
Lead researcher Guoshang Li and his team of scientists are working on more available and environmentally responsible materials for their new storage prototype.
First of all, this battery made of sodium, aluminum, which is the most abundant material in the world. And secondly, this battery can store lots of energy compared to the conventional batteries, which means this battery can discharge for a long time.
Li's new sodium aluminum battery has a lower operating temperature than similar prototypes in global development. In lab tests, the battery proved it could discharge over more than a day, meaning scientists are closing the gap on reliably getting every watt of power generated through renewable sources into our electric grid on demand. And that's the primary focus for the scientists at the lab in Richland.
We answer some fundamental questions. We show that the technology can be scaled up. And at that point, that's where industry comes in.
And industry will be coming in on that particular battery soon. All right, hey, if you like that story or any of the KGW Good Energy stories that you've seen here throughout the months and years, you can find them on our kgw.com/Good Energy page. All you got to do is get out your smartphone and click on that or snap on that QR code that's on the side of your screen.
Chris McGinnis is part meteorologist, part Good Energy correspondent. Nicely done there this morning, Chris.